Will you take a maternity leave from social media? Did you always know you wanted to be parents? Setting boundaries with family. Who do you think will be more of the strict parent? First trimester symptoms. How far along were you when you started telling different people? Just decided to start trying after years of being dinks. What do I need to know? Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are doing a Q&A all about pregnancy, parenthood, motherhood, fatherhood. I had you guys ask me some questions over on Instagram. We're currently here with our firstborn and then Ryan's parents' dog, who's about to sit on Dodger's face. I guess if you guys don't know, I'm pregnant. Our first baby. Ryan and I have been together for 11 years. Yeah, we're about to be parents for the first time. Don't really know what we're doing, but we're kind of getting to the end, so we kind of got to figure it out soon. Do you have a baby boy name on the back burner in case you get a birth time surprise? Okay, we're having a girl. No,
I don't know how we would have a surprise.
I really do assume that we're having a girl based on like the amount of ultrasounds we've had and confirmation.
Yeah, I'd be shocked.
I would be so shocked. Like if for some reason we had a surprise, probably just figure it out
while we're there. I don't think that's happening.
Self-care tips for the first trimester, currently 9 weeks, and the anxiety is the worst. I do forget how anxious I was those first weeks.
Tired.
Yeah, very, very tired. I wasn't sick or anything, so my main pregnancy symptom, I think, was the fact that I was incredibly anxious. Honestly, I didn't really even feel like I was pregnant, really believed I was pregnant day to day until she started moving a lot, which isn't the most helpful information because that's you have some time till then. Most of the time when I was anxious, I would just talk to you and I would talk it out. Most of the time it was just because I was worried that something was gonna happen to her. Ryan would just remind me that everything's okay. We have no reason to believe that anything is wrong. And I think just talking to people is really helpful because it's a very, very normal feeling to have when you're pregnant. Who do you think will be more of the strict parent?
I don't know, because I would say me.
I think it might change throughout periods of life.
That's strict on, I guess, what?
I don't know, because Ryan is pretty type A. I would feel as I get older, I'm less type A about things that I used to be. I feel we'll be a pretty decent balance.
I don't think we're going to be strict per se, but we want to have that boundary of we're your parent, we're not your friend.
What do you think Ryan will excel in as a dad, and what do you think that I will excel in? Well, I like this question. I think that you will be really fun. I just feel you're gonna be a fun parent to have around. Do you not think that?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
I feel you will be playful and very involved, and also really patient.
I feel you're gonna be very caring, and you're gonna teach her to read and do her makeup and all that sort of stuff.
Hell yeah. First trimester symptoms, specifically first half of the first trimester. I honestly I didn't know I was pregnant when I took a test. I didn't have any symptoms. So I would say the week after I took a test though, I started feeling very tired, extreme exhaustion. I would be driving at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I would be if I don't get home in the next 15 minutes, I am afraid I will pass out at the wheel. I am that tired. I could barely keep my eyes open. And then the anxiety, but I didn't have any sickness or anything, which I'm really grateful for, and not a ton of food aversions.
No, you had seafood for a little bit, fish.
Yeah, and I still haven't had salmon. I don't know when I'll have salmon, just because that really grossed me out. But overall, it's been pretty good. With having an Aura ring, has the constant data made you nervous, or did you find it eased your anxiety? I feel it eased my anxiety, to be honest. I like having data. I like looking at the numbers of things. So I feel that was helpful, obviously when we were trying to conceive, but then also after. I like keeping track of my sleep and what things I do differently at night that can impact those things. How far along were you when you started telling different people? Oh my God, I think that me and Ryan had that information to ourselves for 3 or 4 days before I was I am bursting out of my skin.
Yeah, one of our friends guessed.
Almost a week after. So we found out, and then I would say 3 or 4 days after, we called Eli and Amanda. Because I was I can't have this information to myself. It was just killing me. Day to day, Ryan would go to work and I would just be sitting here, and I was we had been trying for a little bit of time too at that point. So I just was I wanted to share it with someone. So you got home from work that night and I was can we please? And you're I don't care. We can say, we can tell anyone. And then that next weekend we went to a wedding, And I was trying to hide that I'm drinking, or that I wasn't drinking. And also was kind of telling our friend, like, I'm trying not to drink because we're trying to obviously get pregnant. And then like when she was intoxicated, it came up to us and was like, came up to you. What did she say?
She said, what, is Rosie pregnant or something? And I was just like, she's like, oh shit, wait, really?
That was funny. And then we told our parents like shortly after that. So I think that we were like
the next day,
maybe like 6 weeks along at that point.
No, I thought it was like 9.
No, 6.
No.
We were still very early on, but like I guess I was under the impression too, like if something horrible happened, like we lost the baby, these are the people that we were telling were people that we would have told that happened to. So like I would rather have spent those like however many weeks celebrating and being happy with those people than not, personally. That was just that's how I felt about it. But I mean, it's truly up to you when you feel comfortable telling people. I've been wearing a lot of Skims pajamas while I've been pregnant, so I think that's why this was asked. But are the Skims pajamas worth it? Did you get your normal size? And yes, I think that they're 100% worth it. I will actually just link them on this video. They're the $80 pajamas, which is a little bit cheaper than some of the other ones they have on their site. And they're so comfortable, and I did get my normal size, which is a large. And taking greens during pregnancy, I mean, you should just check whatever greens like website that you want like to obviously buy from and make sure that they're pregnancy safe. The ones I take are. Just decided to start trying after years of being dinks. What do I need to know? First off, we're excited for you. We hope that it is a seamless, simple process for you. I was not tracking my ovulation correctly. I was using the Daisy fertility tracker, and it's like you take your temperature every single morning, and I don't think that I was getting like super accurate information back. So once I switched to the Oura Ring and Natural Cycles, like I genuinely believe that is the reason we got pregnant, because it's the month that we started using it and inputting my past data, that it gave us more like exact dates of ovulation that were different than what we had been doing prior.
We were still under the year mark of trying. Like if you've been trying for years, like I feel like a different mindset, but because we were under that year, like that was the first month that we were like, let's just not put pressure on it. Mm-hmm. Like if it happens, fantastic. If it doesn't, then we keep trying, as opposed to like months before it was like, well, hopefully it's gotta happen. And then when it didn't happen, feeling so like bummed out about it.
And that was a lot easier for Ryan to say than me. Like I was truly like not having a good time trying to conceive. I thought it was like really stressful. This is like literally such an annoying thing that you get told, of like people being like, just like don't even stress about it. Like go on vacation and like don't even worry about it. But the one time we didn't stress about it and we went on vacation, we got pregnant. Not saying that that's like the norm, but like that's how it happened for us. And I was like, that's so annoying.
I just think putting unnecessary stress like on your like mentally and physically takes a toll.
For sure. We're sending you all the love. I really, really hope that like you get pregnant quickly and you have a really great experience. Navigating pregnancy / kids with friends who are child-free either by choice or not. We do have people in our life that are child-free. Most, I mean, I want to say all of them are by choice. I don't have experience to my knowledge of people that are child-free not by choice. So I feel like that's a lot like more delicate situation. I would say like at least for our situation, everyone in our life, whether they have kids or not going to have kids, are still extremely supportive of everyone in their life that does have kids. Mm-hmm. So like just because it's not like a chapter that they want to have in their life, they're choosing not to, they're still really supportive. We haven't really found like any like really necessary means of navigation around that. Like it just, we've gone as normal. Setting boundaries with family. We obviously don't have her physically in our life yet. I guess we will just kind of navigate that as we need. But I feel like our family is like really respectful of our boundaries. We've already had lots of conversations of like kind of like what we're hoping for once she's here. And like Ryan and I like a lot of like individual time by ourselves.
We have pretty open communication with our families to where if we do need to speak up and say something, it won't be an issue. Yeah.
When you have kids, you do have to kind of just like be a little bit more selfish and like doing whatever makes sense for your family. You just hope that people can also like understand that and not like take offense to it and know it's not personal. Are you freezer prepping ahead of time, like different recipes?
We haven't yet. We talked about it, like potentially maybe doing like breakfast sort of stuff. But
sometimes I feel like maybe Ryan and I are underestimating some of these life changes, which again, we will have to navigate once we like physically have her here. Very, very grateful to be in a position that Ryan is going to be home with us for like 4 months. Ryan and I both like cooking. I assume I will not be doing much of the cooking during this time. Ryan is probably going to need some tasks to be helpful around the house while I do some things. So I think Ryan's going to be like taking the lead on a lot of that. We also are potentially setting up like a meal train with people in our life. So like I would assume that would be like for mostly dinners. I really would only want like breakfast prepped, if anything. I am not like a let's reheat food type of person for like, especially like weeks on end. I get freaked out by like food. So sometimes I feel like I'd just rather like something fresh be made.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Our plan is to maybe do some breakfast stuff. Did you always know you wanted to be parents? Yes. Like,
I think so.
I feel like there were times in our 20s, like even when we were together, where I was like, I kind of feel like I put up like a wall of like, well, if it doesn't happen, like I don't want to be disappointed or feel like our life is not fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Which I also like, we had always said like if we can't have kids.
We had no reason to think we wouldn't be able to, but it was just more like a...
We always had said like if we didn't have kids, like we would feel like fulfilled with the life that we have together, like with a dog or anything like that. Just because you never know, obviously, what your future is going to hold. But we did always like have the desire to have children. We have talked about that for years online too. Will you take a maternity leave from social media? I don't really know. Probably not. Probably nothing super strict where, like, if I want to post, I'll post, kind of thing. Like, yeah. I'm not going to be like, I'm very strict of like, I am not posting for however many days. I'm just going to take it as it comes, and if it feels right to share like what I'm going through, the focus will always be on me as like creating content. So like if I feel like inclined to share like my postpartum journey, I will do so. I don't have like anything super strict. Like I'm sure I'll have ads that need to go up too. I don't know. Yeah. This is a newer career for me, so I'm just kind of rolling with it. But I am taking like a good break from like photography postpartum just so I can be home. What has Ryan done to help your pregnancy? Nothing. Just kidding. No, you're just incredibly supportive.
Thank you.
Yeah, like in all aspects. Like if I need to rest, he's like you're always encouraging me to like rest and lay down, like never making me feel like guilty for needing time. You honestly have taken over a lot of the cooking in the last 7-8 months, which has been really nice. I used to want to cook like every meal of the week, and I'm happy to cook 1 to 2, and I'd be happy if you cooked like the other 5. You've come to all my appointments with me.
Yeah, been able to make that work.
You've been like very involved in like wanting to learn. Like you scheduled our baby classes. Struggling with putting a registry together. Any tips for what helped you know what to pick? This was so extremely hard. So like, I totally get it. I actually went to my parents' house and had my mom help me because she runs a daycare. So I was like asking her like if there were certain styles of bibs or binkies or things that she had seen through the daycare in like the more recent years that she liked. And then I used Babylist to put it together, and so they'd give you like a bunch of different categories and things within the categories that you should be like adding to your registry. And so like you kind of just do it like as a checklist, and they give you a lot of like recommended items, and I kind of just went off of that.
Talk to friends that have kids.
I was gonna say the other thing I did is I have a hard time seeking out too much information online because it's overwhelming. But I would text my friends that had had kids in like the last like few years and just ask them if there were like items that they sweared by, brands that they loved.
What was worth it? What wasn't worth, like what were like worth the things to splurge on, that sort of stuff. Which
is funny because even like in a friend group, you'll get one person saying like, this was an item that like we had to have. And then the next person would be like, I didn't use this at all. And it was the same item. A lot of things you're just gonna have to figure out with your baby because obviously it's all gonna be different. Have you been making her a video diary at all or any plans for a baby book? No.
No, I mean, it's all, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that over these next, like, few weeks, I do actually want to, like, even just take some, like, video clips of me being pregnant, like, very candid around the house. And maybe not even necessarily, like, to post, just to, like, have, because then we'll, like, film stuff, too, in the hospital for us to have, not necessarily for, like, online, we'll see. I think it would be fun for us at least to have the memory to look back on. Like, so maybe we'll start doing that. I do want to do like a baby book of some sorts. I don't know. I thought I would be like a little bit better about like documenting, like journaling my symptoms or how I'm feeling. We've taken a photo of me every single week.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Did you change any eating habits or anything to prep your body for pregnancy? I actually did like start to cut down on caffeine because I had heard that that would be better. Oh, another thing I like stopped doing, but like I should have been stopped doing way before, was I saw a video of someone saying like, you should not be heating up your leftovers in the plastic container, even if they are like microwave safe. And once someone was like, it's actually so bad if you're trying to conceive, like all those plastics. So I stopped doing that, and I actually will just continue to do that. Like, take it out of the container.
It's so easy to stack, but it would be nice to switch to all glass at some point.
Well, you could switch to all glass. I would be fine with that. When did you come to the conclusion when it was the right time to start trying? It said like a few years ago, like when we even got married, like maybe let's try and hit the 10-year mark of being together, and then let's start trying.
We just had some things that we wanted to do. Like after we got married, like then we knew we wanted to go to Europe.
We wanted to go to a Packer game.
Yeah, like we wanted to go back to Green Bay. Like we had a couple things we wanted to do, and then I think we had a year we just kind of took to enjoy whatever it was that we wanted to do. Like we have this trip in Mexico planned in January, and we're like, that seems like a good time to start. Mm-hmm. Like start trying. Like we've kind of done everything we wanted to do. We've always talked about like wanting to start in our late 20s and have a kid by like 28, 29, 30. It just worked out.
Yeah.
Perfect. We are planners though too, so.
I guess I did feel a shift in myself of like, okay, look, I feel like I've done what needs to be done.
I know you talked about that. It wasn't like I woke up one day and was like.
Well, I don't even know if it was like a one day thing. It was more just like, okay. I think honestly it's like when I was hungover. I would always be like, I would be hungover and I'd be like, we need to have a baby right now. Because I just was like, what are we doing? Like I feel like there was like one bad hangover. Maybe it was after the Christmas party or something. And I was like, I think I'm ready to like settle down. I don't even know if this is necessarily pregnancy related, but it says, how do you fill your time during the day while Ryan is working? This is so interesting to me because I'm also working. Mm-hmm. Like I work a lot. So when Ryan goes to work, I work.
You try to work when I work. Yeah.
Do you feel people prepared you for the first trimester exhaustion?
At least for me, you were a lot more exhausted than I was expecting you to be.
Yeah.
Part of it I also assumed was like the cutting back on caffeine plus
growing a baby.
Yes, like those two combined was just like.
It's really hard to even describe because it is just like so all encompassing. In that time also it's pretty isolating because you're like generally not talking about it with a lot of people, and like I think it was probably a little bit more rough than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. But I mean overall I would say like my pregnancy experience has been very, very good. I feel like it's been good in comparison to what I've heard. I am very much at the point though of pregnancy where I am so over this.
The months that you've been pregnant I feel like are ideal. Like you're not going through the heat of summer. Like
I found out I was pregnant at the end of summer, and so I didn't have to like deal with being 8 months pregnant in the heat. But now that it's getting nicer, I'm just like, get this baby out of me.
Yeah.
I just want to sit on the patio with our girl and like hang out with you guys. So that'll be coming very, very, very soon, which I'm excited about. Let me know if you have any more questions about pregnancy. I feel like we're kind of coming to the tail end of it, but if like you guys have more questions, I'm happy to answer them. What are your final thoughts on entering fatherhood this spring?
I'm excited. I'm not very stressed about it.
Yeah?
I feel like I'm pretty chilled about it. We wanted this, so we'll just take it as it happens.
Which I'm like, we could be eating our words this come June or something and be like, we're idiots. I don't know. I just think that we're excited to like do this, and we have a pretty chill personality about it.
Yeah, we're doing all the things right now to get ready for it. So it's like, again, we're planners. How much we plan helps take away stress in the future.
True. All right. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what video you want to see next week. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.